Hi, Vincent Hall. Welcome to another episode of our Featured Artist series. This week, we're featuring Mrs. Sarah Fellows, more commonly known to everyone as Sally. Sally's been a member of our painting program for several years and started in as a beginner in the Tuesday class and has quickly moved on to being an intermediate advanced level painter, working in a variety of medium. She's going to be telling us about her journey in art and how she gets some of her talent naturally from her family. So without further wait, Mrs. Sally Fellows. Thank you so much, Sally, for being our featured artist this week. We're so excited to hear more about your work and welcome to the interview series.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. This is very interesting.
Great. Well, we're all interested to hear a little more about you. So I thought you could share with everyone how you got your start, interest in art, any anecdotal life stories you might want to share.
Well, when I was a little girl, I used to enjoy looking up on the wall at some of the paintings that were at home. I don't know when it was exactly that I learned that they were paintings that had been done by my grandmother and my father and my aunt. Uh, I that's where the interest started.
Oh, okay.
And I decided I'd like to try to draw. Um, my mother wanted me to play the piano. Unfortunately, I got piano lessons and not art lessons.
No.
And it was, well, that went on for years, as a matter of fact. And I cannot play a note on the piano, nothing but chopsticks.
Mm.
So, so much for the piano lessons. I did not, I married and, well, it was college and marriage and children and Navy life, moving around from pillar to post.
Mm.
And occasionally when Ted would be on cruise, I would try to take a class if there was someone teaching on the base where I was staying with the daughters, my daughters. Um, Nothing ever lasted long enough for me to learn anything. And the paints would dry up in the tube, the brushes
Aw.
would be a mess. I gave it up. I just did. And uh, after we moved here and I had time, I thought, this is perfect. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna walk in one day and see what happens. And I'm still here.
That's right. I'm so glad you walked in. So that's great. Oh. So you had mentioned in past conversations a little bit about your father being an artist also. So thought you could share some of that.
Well, my father, his mother was an artist,
Oh, okay.
and but she died when he was 9 years old.
Oh,
And I'm sorry, no, 4 years old,
oh.
only 4 years old. And grandmother asked my father's aunt to please take care of her children. She had my dad and my aunt Nella.
Hmm.
So Adora, being a single woman, young, never had children of her own, decided that my father should, because he enjoyed painting. He fiddled around with it when he was a little kid, and she decided he was going to be an artist.
Oh.
So he actually took lessons when he was a child from the same teacher that his mother had. Um, it went along just fine for a while until he decided that he wanted to play baseball.
Oh.
And so at 16, he did his last painting at 16 years old. So
Oh no.
yes, I
Oh.
know, I know. I tried to talk him into it after he retired. He gave the business over to my brother.
Hmm.
And I said, Daddy, why don't you start painting again? Because Nella, his sister, was really into painting at that point.
Hmm.
And I said, you and Nella could do something together, you know. And he was interested, but only in a minor way. I
Oh,
think it was the day had passed, the time had passed.
oh, that's a shame. Huh.
Yes, I always thought so too.
Yeah.
But he always had an eye for color. We always had color in the furnishings in the house. Nothing was all beige or anything like that.
Okay.
So I think that's where I got my love of color.
So, as you mentioned with your love of color, do you have any particular artists that you really like their work or have admired or gotten inspiration from?
Oh, well, the Constable paintings in England, um, all of the Renoir paintings. I
Mhm.
love Renoir. Um, but the Impressionists in general
Okay.
fascinate me.
Mhm.
And that's really about it. I'm learning as I go.
Okay. That makes sense. We all are, I think. It's like art is a journey. I don't think it ever really ends. You constantly find something new to do. So that's good that you're
Well,
still painting.
yes, and I have something I'm going to present you with as soon as I finish the snow scene from Yosemite.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to need help. Yes.
That's what we're here for. So
All
since you
right.
mentioned your snow scene, I thought maybe we could share some of your work that you've allowed me to share, and you can talk to everyone as we go through it what your inspiration was, what you were thinking about color wise, and the topic just general talk about the paintings.
All right.
All right, so here's one of the first paintings that you had given me to share. Maybe you can start giving us some information about this.
This is the very first one I tried when I walked into your class, and I tore it off of a calendar, and it took me about 3 weeks to get this on on a canvas, and I love it. I have it hanging in the kitchen now.
Okay, awesome.
So
That's a good place.
it hangs above the painting of the potatoes that I did after this.
Oh, okay. I don't think you brought the potatoes down to share.
No, I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't. I figured one painting of vegetables was enough.
Well, I remember when you started this one, and even the subtle depth of field in here with these faded asparagus stalks in the background. I mean, it showed a lot of effort and promise. I could see from the beginning that you were going to really enjoy painting from this one. It was a
I
success
did.
out of the
I do.
box.
I do indeed. Yes.
Oh, okay. Then we have this one.
This is one that you said that it would be interesting, and I had to work at this. I really did. I couldn't seem to get the corners properly shaded, nor could I get the floor
Hmm.
blended so that it wasn't starkly brown.
Right.
But I love it. I love it now.
Good.
And it actually the old um, heater there under the window turned out to look like an old radiator.
Absolutely. I grew up with those. I know just what they look like. Yep.
Oh,
But
this one I call moving in day because Ted and I moved so often in the Navy
oh,
that I walked through many houses and empty rooms. So this is called moving in day.
oh, I like that. I like that. You certainly did experience a lot of that. I'm looking at it just from the colorists that you were talking about with color and all of the beautiful blues and pinks and magentas in the wall. It's not stark white or beige like you were talking about. And the lines on the window remind me almost of a Frank Lloyd Wright type. Um,
They do,
window.
don't they?
Yeah,
The leaded windows.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's beautiful.
I enjoyed it. Yes. After I settled down and quit, you know, worrying about it,
Oh yeah,
it
that's
turned
all.
out well.
It
I was
absolutely
very
is.
pleased.
That's important. Okay, then we have this one.
Now this one surprised. All right, I was told by someone that when you finish your painting, you sign it. You don't go back and do anything else. Well, I looked at this and looked at this and looked at this, and about what, 3 months ago, I took it back down to the art room. This is Wuhan virus
Oh, okay.
inspiration,
Wow, that's
and
okay.
I put the river in because this is a scene from the Grand Canyon on
Oh,
the
over here.
western,
Yes.
yeah, on the kind of on a southwestern view. It's
Okay.
not one that you normally see, and the river makes it much more interesting, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I like it. You did that, and that's okay. There is that rule of thumb of sign it and leave it, but I think most artists break that rule, so don't worry. I know I have. So
All right.
finally, have this one. Oh, I always enjoyed this one.
Oh, this one took me a while too, and the other things I had worked on were small,
Mhm.
and this is a large canvas, and everybody kept urging me in class, go big, go big.
Yep.
So this is another one that came off of a calendar, and it reminded me of the Sonoran Desert. I'm relatively familiar with it because Ted's hometown was Tucson, Arizona.
Oh,
And I saw this and I was taken to it immediately. I like the little barrel cactus because they don't, spit spines at you as you walk by or catch your clothes and things like that. They just kind of sit there nice and round.
wait,
And
go back for the
suddenly,
novice here. There's cactuses that spit out spines when you walk by. I didn't know that.
well, it isn't that they spit them at
Right.
you. It's that the spines come off so easily that if you even brush against them, you're impaled on it.
Oh,
So
oh gosh. Glad I missed that. So
be careful next time you go out
I
into the
will.
desert, Mel.
I will. I just love the flowers on this. I feel like it just adds such
They
joy.
bloom beautifully once a
Hmm.
year out in the desert. It just comes into flower, and it's lovely. They're
Oh,
beautiful blooms on the tall cactus, and it's amazing. You'd
mm.
never believe it until you see it.
Oh, it looks beautiful. And then let's see, we have this one of my favorites that you've done. Oh, I wish I was there.
Well, this has become my favorite. I
Hmm.
was so disappointed in the progress I was making that I stuck in the corner for a couple of months, really. And then everything was disrupted with this virus. Um, so I hauled it out and took it down to the art studio, and Susan was there that
Okay.
day, and she said, "Oh my God, that's too bright." So here along the river,
Hmm.
um, that's the Merced River out in
Mm.
Yosemite Valley. And she showed me what to do to tone that down.
Good.
And at that point, everything changed. It
Hmm.
just changed. It came together. And I finally got to paint the little tree in
Oh yeah,
and made it look like something reasonable.
because I don't think this was finished yet when we went when I had to leave with the
I
virus
know,
thing. So
I
we
know.
I'm glad you got to finish it. I love that purple shadow up here. That's one I just my eye goes there and then the tree reflection. Oh, it's just beautiful.
That's yes, my eye goes there too. The little tree just kind of brings you in, and the
Mhm.
next thing you see is the purple shadow. But
Absolutely.
that's I'm glad you like that. I like
Oh, I
this one
do.
too.
I do. It just
I did this because my father did a painting of El Capitan
okay.
from a postcard that one of his uncles sent to him. His uncles loved to travel, and they sent him a postcard that had a photograph of El Capitan on it. And that was one of the things he did when he was a kid. So I thought I'd do one and see, how I managed
I
to
think it's a
do
success.
that.
It's wonderful. I like the
Oh,
family
thank you.
tie. That's nice.
Inspiration.
Yes, that is absolutely. Then this one. Now I can tell who you got inspiration from on this. I think.
That is, Susan started us out
Hmm.
with just a blank canvas and a big paintbrush, like a house painter's
Right. Yep.
paintbrush.
That's one of the early painting lessons.
And we just smeared color all over the canvas. And then she said something to the effect, well, what do you see? And I'm standing there looking at this blue canvas. And she said, well, it looks kind of like water. So what are you going to do? So I thought, all right, another water lily.
Hmm.
And we went through somehow with the iPad, we scrolled through lots of them, and I picked this one out.
Oh, I like this one.
And this one I love because I love the colors,
Mm.
of course, but it flowed. It was just easy for me to do this, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it.
You can tell you were very loose doing this. I mean, you could kind of
Yes,
put this one up against El Capitan, which they're both beautiful, but both very different. But I love this. I'm glad you let that little yellow, these little yellow hints down here and the lily pad leaves and this beautiful flower. Oh, it's just so vibrant.
that's my water lily. Then this is my grandmother's house.
Yes. And now this
This
one you did when I was still there. I remember this. So
I started that, and I managed to do some work on it while you were gone. And we're going to extend this because I have another one that I want you to help me with that involves depicting my younger brother and me playing in a mud puddle on the old unpaved red clay road.
oh my.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we had one spot where the trenches, from the tires and the wheels was deep,
Mm.
and we could float leaves in it. So, and anyway, I'll get into that next week when we get to class.
Oh,
And
that sounds like a plan. Okay.
because I've never done figures.
Well, that's my specialty. I love portraiture and figures, so it'll be
I'm
fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. All right, let's see. Then we have this one, the last one.
This is a work in progress.
Mm.
It's coming along. It really is.
Oh, yes.
I have a little work to do up here to lighten up this dark
Up,
area,
up
and then
it.
I have to finish this area down here.
Okay. Oh,
But it's
down
coming
here.
along, and it's looking better every day. So,
Absolutely. And it exudes winter, that light gray, almost a dove gray sky, just that the solace of winter.
it does. It really does. And the snow blowing off the top of the mountain,
Yep.
just
Oh,
a
yeah.
little hint of winter on its way.
Thank you, Sally, for sharing those pictures with us. I enjoy the variety of what you paint.
Thank you. I wouldn't trade the experience for anything.
Oh, that's
Yes, it's just interest, and I love the people that I'm meeting in the classes. They're terrific. So
yeah.
I will be there. I will be there next Tuesday.
Great. We will look forward to seeing you then. So, any other parting words you'd like to share with anyone at Vincent Hall?
Oh, yes, I would say if you have the faintest interest or have ever had the faintest interest in picking up a paintbrush, don't hold back. Come in and try. You may discover that you're really onto something that you enjoy for the rest of your life.
That's true. And to that end, we've had 4 or 5 new people join the beginning painting class. So I hope more folks take a chance too. I agree.
I do too. I do too.
Oh.
Well, Mel, this has been fun. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Sally. Look forward to seeing you down in the art studio on Tuesday.
I'll be there.
Great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again, Sally, for taking the time to share with us your paintings, your inspiration, and the backstory of what got you started in art. I'm sure everyone has enjoyed seeing your paintings and will enjoy seeing them in the slideshow that follows. If you want to see more of Sally's work, she's a regular member of the Tuesday class that meets from noon to 2, and she'll always have some work on display. Speaking of the painting class, we have that beginner painting class on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. till noon. And we have some new members that I'd like to welcome into that beginner painting class as well. So if you know Althea Kutzi, Joyce Lombardi, Ann Dietrich, Millie Nash, they've all joined that beginner painting class, and we're so welcoming of them and hope to see more of their work as they will become future featured artists down the road. Also, thanks to Lonnie Collars, who's been in our drawing and painting class, for taking a shot at photography and joining the Wednesday photo class. So as you can see, even though there might not be a lot of places to go, there are things to do in the Art Center, and it's open to anyone. So please join us for our classes. See you next week with another featured artist. Till then, stay safe and be well, Vincent Hall.